What's up, everybody? Hope all y'all are doing undeniably fan-frickin-tastic out there. It's Monday, and you know what that means. Vlog day once again. Hope you folks out there had a good week. Hope none of you melted too horribly in the summer sun. Me, I may look a little bit raggedy right now, but that's because as soon as I woke up this morning, I was doing some yard work. Hopefully I'm done for today, but we shall see. We shall see. Alright, all I know is I put my best foot forward this morning and I did as much as I could. Alright, but yeah, I'm here now, I'm present, got the camera rolling, I'm alive, my heart is beating, let's go. Alright, and hopefully my voice sounds a little bit better than it did last week. I just know talking right now, I do feel like my throat is a little held back, almost. But I'm not in as much pain as I was last week. Maybe my voice did change a little bit, I'm not sure. I mean, heck, it was just even a miracle that I was able to do my my Beverly Hillbillies Power Rangers spook this past Friday. It was even another miracle that I was even able to wake up Saturday morning and do my my Cowie video, my Cowie voice, the way I did it. But yeah, like a couple days into this past week, after my vlog last Monday, I was able to start speaking normally again, but and I was able to start swallowing normally again, but I will admit, this week, every single sneeze, and even today, every single time I sneezed, it did come with a little bit of a snap of a sharp pain here and there, but, so maybe I'm not fully healed just yet, but who knows, maybe my voice is scarred like this for the rest of my life, I'm not sure, because just the way I'm talking right now and the way I'm hearing it, it almost sounds kind of like that I'm congested almost. Just the way I'm hearing it with my own ears, it kind of sounds like I'm a little bit congested. But I'm not sure how severe it is. But we'll see. But yeah. Anywho, folks, I'm gonna go ahead and get this out of the way right quick. I'm gonna go ahead and talk about my spoiler review for Spider-Man Brand New Day. Alright, now in the description box is going to be a convenient timestamp for you folks if you haven't seen it yet. If you haven't seen it yet and you want to skip the spoilers, then feel free to click the timestamp in the description below now. Okay, so I just had to, just based on memory alone, I had to take some notes about stuff that I remembered and stuff that stood out to me during Spider-Man Brand New Day. All in all, as a Spider-Man fan, I was happy watching this. Alright, I was very happy watching this, and some things started clicking into place for me, but I'm going to do my best to address as much as I can here, okay? Hopefully I didn't forget anything important. Alright, so first off, one thing I noticed especially this week after the movie was the importance of product placements and handshake advertisements. Alright, like this movie is sponsored by, this product is sponsored by, that kind of thing. Alright, so one thing I did notice around one of the early scenes of the movie was Peter Parker picked up a Little Caesars box. And then it wasn't until early this week until I actually looked at the Little Caesars advertisement in the window of them advertising Brand New Day, and how even some of the Spider-Man boxes had, how some of the pizza boxes had Spider-Man on it. I was like, oh, that tracks. That explains why Parker had to pick up a Little Caesars box into the shot. Yeah. And then another thing I was noticing on Facebook was I was looking at some of the comment sections about how there was product placement for Takis almost. I mean, I didn't remember Takis in the movie. But when I was walking in Walmart the other day, I happened to walk by a Takis display that was advertising Spider-Man on the packages. So like, okay, I see you, movie product placement. I see how you're playing the advertising game here. Yeah. But okay. So another thing I was kind of curious about was seeing the hand ninjas in red. Now I know when it comes to the hand lore, a lot of it was introduced into the cinematic realm of the Netflix adaptations for the Defenders universe. I call that the VMCU. V meaning vigilante. The vigilante MCU would be anybody in the Defenders and the Punisher. Okay, so it would be the Punisher, Frank Castle, Matt Murdock, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, and Danny Rand. That's your VMCU right there, for now. And of course, it was Daredevil that slightly introduced me to the Hand, but I didn't learn more about the Hand until I was actually watching Iron Fist. All right, but the way the Hand was presented in this, the way the Hand was presented in the Spider-Man flick, it's like somebody didn't get the memo or whatever. I don't know. I get it. Marvel has the Hand because Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, they have the Foot Clan. Alright. One of them came first, I don't know. Either the Turtle universe was calling their ninjas the Foot, or Marvel was calling their ninjas the Hand. Kind of a weird, looking. I don't know. It's kind of a weird comparison there. I'm not sure which came first. I got to study up on that. But one thing I did find out though was that apparently the ooze that blinded Matt Murdock was actually the mutagen that gave the turtles their mutant abilities. So that's kind of cool. But one thing I was confused about though was just how the Hand Ninjas had these red uniforms. Like all the way up through the Netflix adaptations of the VMCU, I don't recall anybody ever wearing those red uniforms. And the fact that they went from regular folks in business suits in the Midland Circle arc to just these legitimate, they actually are ninjas and they're actually wearing the uniform. I don't remember seeing any Hand Klansmen wearing the uniform. So that was kind of odd to me. But I still liked it though. I still liked it. And on the while looking at the details, I did like how the Hand Ninjas had an actual hand logo on their forehead. Let's see here. Also walking into this, I was kind of hoping Daredevil would have showed up, but he didn't. And neither did Man Spider. Alright. So I don't know when or if they'll ever have an actual crossover with Spider-Man in the future. But I did expect Tombstone to have a bigger role in it. Like I heard rumblings that he was going to be in it, but I didn't expect it was just going to be only for like a cameo highlight reel almost. But one thing that came to my mind was, are we almost running out of live-action Spider-Man villain adaptations? Are we? Because then I had to list everybody that I could think of. All right, let's see here. Venom, Kraven, and Mobius, they had their own thing going on for the Sony universe. Madam Web 2, all of them are already taken. I'm not sure the likelihood of any of them showing up in a future Spider-Man film. Let's see here. Of course, Green Goblin, Doc Ock, and a different Venom and Sandman, they were there for the Tobey universe. But, of course, even they showed up for No Way Home. Of course, Electro and the Lizard, they were there with Andrew Garfield. And the same equivalent that Tombstone had for Tom Holland, the Rhino had for Andrew Garfield around the very end. Of course, Vulture, Mysterio, and Scorpion, they were already taken at this point. I mean, I did hear that one review of Spider-Man No Way Home claimed that, one review of Spider-Man Brand New Day claimed that the movie felt like it was separated into two different parts, and I could kind of see that about how once Scorpion gets defeated in Brand New Day, like he's not there in the film for, like he's gone for the rest of the film entirely. But as I was thinking, like, who is left that hasn't had a live action adaptation yet? The Spot? Heck, I know Miles Morales is still chasing him. Is Hydro going to be possible? The only way I know about Hydro is because of the Spider-Man ride at Universal. But then I started looking at my old Spider-Man comics for references, like just ideas. Alright, for example, like I know they introduced Jean Grey, and we're about to get the X-Men involved, so maybe we get the Tri-Sentinels involved one day. If we're increasing comic book lore, maybe we can get Ollie Onsnick involved. I think I'm pronouncing that name right. But bruh, look at this. Tell me that's not Ned Leeds. Tell me that isn't Ned Leeds just looking at that. Now here's something interesting. Wait a minute. Don't worry about this one out. Just one with the Vulture on it. Now here's an oldie. I don't even know how old this one is, but it has a Evil Knievel advertisement on the back of it. But Stegron, is that his name? Stegron, Dinosaur Man? I don't know. Like I wouldn't mind seeing him showing up. That'd be pretty cool. Trying to see if I can find out how old this thing is. Ooh, 1976. This thing's 1976. Alright. But yeah, let's see here. Alright, yeah. But look, another thing, one cool thing this movie did was it showcased us the importance of power scaling, especially with the young Jean Grey, and when it comes to establishing how the Tom Holland variant is the most powerful Spider-Man of them all. And I'm trying to talk louder than that heavy machinery going off like half a mile over that way. Ugh. I'm talking here. Oh, you're gonna bring out my New York accent here. The heck going on? Alright. Now, so one thing I enjoy about this movie was how the how this movie showcased the importance of power scaling and character evolution, and how in another way it kind of established how Tom Holland's variant may have been the greatest Spider-Man of them all. Alright. Now, this movie showcased how Jean Grey was still young. Alright. Now, if this was Dark Phoenix level Jean Grey, oh heck yeah. Peter Parker would be folded in like 10 seconds flat. Alright. But no, this was still Jean Grey learning her abilities. Alright. The fact that it showcased her relationship with her sister, and how she was asking if she could freeze everybody at one time, and the fact that she became a telekinetic bomb across a large chunk of New York. Alright. So that was pretty interesting. But also it was pretty cool seeing how Parker kind of like outsmarted the mind jumper that was Jean Grey. How she was jumping from one person to another, to another, to another, to another. And then until Peter chased it to a helicopter and found out, oh, you can't mind jump more than 33 feet. Like, that was Jean Grey learning her own limit. So that was pretty interesting there. But another thing I noticed was that, okay, one of the people that Jean Grey mind jumped into was an old construction worker. And I didn't think about this till after the movie, but Peter just stood there and watched as this old man gets hit by a taxi. What? But yeah, Spider-Man's just like standing there watching this old man get ran down by a taxi because Jean Grey moved him there. And like I was reading on Facebook, like the only way this makes sense is that Jean jumped into this man's mind and found out that he was on a list somewhere. So whoever that old guy was that got hit with a car, let's just hope he was a bad person already. All right. Another thing I liked how Jean did it was that only Jean Grey could accidentally scramble Bruce Banner's mind enough to unleash the real Hulk. And I like the way the Hulk was depicted in this because even I was kind of curious walking into this. Heck, I was curious about how Smart Hulk would fare in combat these past couple of years because I didn't really get to see it good. I mean, yeah, we had Smart Hulk since Endgame, but we never actually got to see how Smart Hulk fared in actual combat. But Brand New Day, it kind of showed us both versions of the Hulk and how they fare in comparison to the other. All right, but yeah, Jean Grey affected regular Bruce and unleashed the Smart Hulk. All right, and yeah, Smart Hulk got big, but yeah, Smart Hulk, he was talking his crap like in full sentences while he was trying to whip both Frank Castle and Peter Parker. So, like, but when Frank came in there and started blasting Hulk with that machine gun, just coming in there, like, ooh, ooh, I couldn't help but laugh. I was like, Frank, stop wasting your bullets, dude. And I get it. Frank Castle's supposed to be this badass that's like not afraid of anything. But when Frank and Pete was talking about their game plan, Frank willingly said that he's going to go after the girl, and then Pete was like, "Dude, are you just trying to come up with an excuse to get out of fighting the Hulk?" Look, Frank may be brave, but he ain't stupid. All right, he ain't going to waste his ammo. Let's see here. But yeah, the way that Smart Hulk was calmed down, but then real Hulk came back a lot bigger and a lot stronger. I was like, oh yeah, dude, welcome back. Welcome back to the Incredible Hulk. Like, Bruce Banner isn't that incredible when he's just regular Smart Hulk, but he still held his own though. He still held his own for as long as he could. All right. Now, I did like how the Punisher was utilized in this, especially seeing as how this year I was able to watch the entire John Bernthal Punisher arc from Season 1 and Season 2 and then One Last Kill. It was heartwarming to see what happened to Frank in this movie. It really was. Because for anybody that has watched One Last Kill, you would see how his PTSD was affecting him. All right, he did all this killing, and it didn't bring his family back. That man was heartbroken. That man was depressed. He was heavily burdened by loneliness. Okay, but at the end, something convinces him to stay. Now, this particular movie, oh boy, Peter Parker saved Frank Castle. All right, Peter Parker gave Frank Castle something to live for. All right, and in less than 2 minutes, once Peter was taken to the hospital room, in less than 2 minutes, Peter was able to get Frank to both cry and laugh. And I wish Peter would have hit him with this line. He says, "Oh, are you blushing, Daffodil?" Just like when Frank called Spider-Man out for blushing over the MJ situation. Oh yeah, Pete could have hit Frank right back with it and it would have been funnier. One thing I was confused about though was how Peter was taken to the hospital room unmasked, And the only thing that I could see that would have made that make sense was that something I read on Facebook saying that it was Claire Temple who understood the assignment and she took Spider-Man to his room. That's the only thing that I could think of. But yeah. Hold on a second, let me check something. Oh wow, 20 minutes in already. Okay. But yeah, again, another thing that stood out to me was about how this movie helped showcase how Tom Holland became the best Spider-Man variant. Because it wasn't just about Spider-Man being Spider-Man, no. Because when you think about Spider-Man, all you think about is the webs and the powers and the mask and the suit or whatever. Alright. So far, these past 10 years, we found out how wholesome Peter Parker was without the powers. Like at the very end of Brand New Day, you think Peter had to rely on his web slinging or his spider sense in order to talk Jean Grey out of killing everybody in New York the way she was about to? No. Peter had to rely on wholesome conversation, and it worked. It was Peter who had to jump in the way of the bullet to prevent Jean from getting shot. All right. And heck, the fact that Tobey spent 5 years as Spider-Man, the fact that Andrew spent, what was it, almost 3 years as Spider-Man as himself. Andrew Garfield spent 3 years. Dude, I'm honestly surprised they didn't put Spider-Man on my Civil War shirt. But yeah, 10 years ago, this movie came out, and that's when Tom Holland made his Spider-Man debut. That's when it happened. Okay? And for 10 years, 10 freaking years, Tom Holland's been putting in the work. And like just compared to the other Spider-Man variants, Tom Holland made Peter Parker into the genius that we all knew he was. And just the idea that he was able to go back into the past, no, not go back into the past. The fact that he was able to go into Doctor Strange's mirror dimension and outsmart the Sorcerer Supreme. Well, second Sorcerer Supreme, whatever. I'm not up to date on Comitage political rankings right now. Whatever. But yeah, in these past 4 solo Tom Holland Spider-Man movies, it really showcased how much of a genius he was. And this movie especially showed us how exactly Peter was without the powers. And that was one of the biggest things that this movie was touching on, was Peter trying to wrestle with his identity of being the superhero versus being human. But in that final battle of Spider-Man versus the Hand, like it became one of the great examples of Spider-Man saying, "Yeah, I'm him. Because when Jean was like controlling all those hand ninjas and asking him, "Oh, are you Spider-Man or are you Peter Parker?" And then Peter just says, "I'm both." And then boom, on one hand he's whooping everybody's tail, but on another hand, no pun intended, he's saving everybody too. Oh good, no pain that time. But yeah. So all in all, bruh, I'm definitely giving this a good 9 out of 10. Definitely giving this whole movie a good 9 out of 10. And there was one moment in particular where I kind of felt a little bit called out. But that's a discussion for another day. I don't think any of y'all are ready for that conversation. And heck, I may not be ready for that conversation yet either. I already talked it over with 2 people already this week. But I'm going to hold off on that talk. So this may end up coming back up here in the next couple months or whatever, but y'all just stay tuned, okay? I know I'm running out of camera space here. But you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and end the spoiler review right now. All right, look, folks. I didn't expect this much of the vlog to take up this much space or this much time, but I'm gonna try to rush through this for the next 4 minutes because I know I already got I only got like a 29-minute film limit, and I really don't feel like editing both of these together. All right. So, you know what? There's nothing stopping me from uploading 2 different vlogs a day. Yeah, you know what? Why not? 2 vlogs on one Monday. Why not? 2 vlogs on one Monday. Why not? I like that idea. Alright, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and wrap this vlog on up. And I'll see you on the next episode here in a couple minutes, okay? After I upload this episode, go check out the other episode, okay? Alright. Until next time, make sure all of you remember to be outrageously optimistic year round. Booyah. I'm out. Love you all. Here comes my hug of appreciation. Bye.